They can even take me out, Trump out, anybody. It's not going to stop now. That's what it's out. That's what a war is, folks. I knew it getting into it. But let me tell you, it's been interesting to experience it. Quite frankly, I wouldn't do it any other way if I had to start it all over again. Because we're going to cut down the enemy. That's what matters. All right, I want to go to a few of your phone calls. Roger's popping in briefly with the huge revelations that I'm going to get to more in the next segment about confirmed, like we told you, these women are being paid off. And they're being paid, and some women are here's the next big shoe to drop, are taping people telling them, you know, say this and I'll pay you. They're going to spin it. Well, sure, pay women to come forward, sell their story. They're leading them. And women are recording them that haven't had any problems with Trump. That's the issue. And I know you know that, but the media is going to, again, keep changing the subject. But we're aware of their game now. We're alive. We're conscious. We're watching. We know everything about the globalist. This broadcast makes its business studying these people. And the criminals brag in their own publications to themselves. You see them bragging about stealing elections, bragging how they're pedophiles. We have them. You just have to listen to what they say in their own little annals, not in their big broadcast lies where they blah, blah, families are bad, God doesn't exist, GMO's good for you, take your vaccines, blah, 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 blah. But back here, they go, oh, you're so stupid, we're going to treble your prices and screw you over. You know, Gruber, all of it. Okay, Keynes, Marcos. Let's go to Marcos in Fort Worth first. You're on the air. Thanks for holding.
How's it going, Alex?
Good, brother.
We are breaking the conditioning, and we know we're under attack.
Your phone's breaking up a little bit. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
So I want to say, how coincidental is it that every single, allegation that we have against every single prominent figure happens to be, a sexual assault case? And because, how it has the same MO. And how they used the Harvey Weinstein thing at first, which was real, and then almost everything after that followed, other than the exception of,
That's right. I predicted it. That was the detonator. Weinstein was the detonator.
It was.
And he's even bragged since, oh, look, I changed the world. I was patient zero.
He's walking around now. Is he not? Is he not just walking around?
He is. And that's a good point, Marcos. But what are they going to do as it comes out that they're manufacturing most of this?
They're gonna quintuple down, or you know what I mean. They're gonna go. Hopefully they stand down, like you say, like you always say. You don't want it to go to that level, but if they take it to another level past this, Trump's gonna just have to be like, look, no more games. I can see all of it. Like, he's only playing nice because he can't just go in there and just, this is done, I'm shutting it down, we're not doing this anymore, stop wasting taxpayer dollars. He literally has to tiptoe around, because it's not even necessarily what's legal. It's about the optics of it and quite frankly, how stupid the masses are right now, because they'll just believe.
Well, that's it. Those of us that are informed see the Russia investigation totally phony. Most of this stuff, the sex stuff made up or exaggerated. We're like, this is stupid. This is so fake. But they're just kind of targeting People magazine readers and kind of airheads who walk up to me on the street and literally go, you are a Russian agent. They're like staring at Captain America, basically. When it comes down to it comes down to promoting America. I'm just like, oh, yeah, we're the Russians. Yeah, right. God bless you. Great points, Marcus. Stay with us. More calls straight ahead at Roger's Town. We are back live, ladies and gentlemen, and we're broadcasting worldwide. We have an amazing digital phone system that can take 50 calls at a time. One time we got 24,000 calls during a show, because you can digitally see how many hit it. But computers crash. So we had like 20 people on the line. So I'm going to be taking your calls this hour and next. And so it dumped you all. We had to reboot it. It froze up. So call back in, 877-789-ALEX, but only if you were already online. Please, folks, let folks get in that were already there. And we'll get you back on and get to you. Sorry about that. It happens like once a year. It just happened. So the phone system got cut down. Sooner or later, going to cut the phone system down. 877-789-ALEX. Think about being in an airplane where the pilots hardly know how to fly, as is starting to happen because everything's so automated on cruise control. I mean, that's a fact. Self-driving cars, self-flying airplanes. And now, when those systems go out, they have much higher rates of crashes landing and taking off. There's big studies showing it. Where, yeah, you use a calculator all the time. You forget how to do math. You watch porn all the time. You forget how to actually go out and date a real woman. I mean, all of this is handicapping us. All of this is dehumanizing us. And I'm not saying, hey, it'd be great in the car to have self-driving and click it on and it can, drive you while you take care of business calls or whatever. But then you don't know how to drive a car anymore. And then they go, oh, computers are better than you. Humans can't drive cars. And now you're in the cage of, in the name of the nanny state, Isaac Asimov's iRobot meets Demolition Man. That's really their plan. And then I've seen the self-driving buses in Germany and the new ones they've got in Dubai, and they go like 10 miles an hour. And you're giving the globalists that are in control of the robots, they're getting all the control. And I know everybody knows this, but the technocrats call themselves technocrats. They call themselves authoritarian, and they say it's okay because our computers are going to manage it. What health care you get, your carbon credits, what you get allotted, where you can go, what you can do. And that's coming up after I take your calls and after we talk to Roger Stone. It's coming up later in the hour. I've got to spend a couple segments on this, though, so maybe next hour. It's up on INFOWARS.com. Nazi whispers. Dutch government official tells man with Down syndrome how expensive he is. And I got so angry this morning watching this because they're talking to this nice fellow with Down syndrome, and he's very, genteel and friendly and nice. And you tell he probably would have like a 200 IQ if he didn't have the extra chromosome because he's very smart for, cognitively for a fellow that has Down syndrome. But what they lack in that, they have in strength and spirit and, being funny and a lot of other things. Anybody that's been around these great people knows. And they just are very condescending to him, very condescending. And see, Western Europeans and Northern Europeans, because of the Ice Age, are very communal and are very into the bigger group and order. But then Hitler comes along and they follow orders, things don't go too well. Get nice people in charge, things go very well. But you get into the Northern European areas, I mean, you get countries where they're like 90% socialist, basically, like 90% of your money goes to the government. They can really use that to abuse people. Look at the Stockholm Syndrome. Look at all this. And they just condescend to him about, hey, you cost a lot of money, bro. Well, so does having people. So does life. You have kids, they might die. They're going to go into all the genomes by law and edit out any problems, saying we have global health care, you can't cost other people stuff, and then that's the gene editing that's already here, and they admit it. Just like I told you 20 years ago, when they bring in self-driving cars, when they bring those in, which they're already doing, they're going to say, you're not safe anymore, you got to pay more insurance as a human driver. They're going to use it to track and control you. And then they're going to push you off the roads entirely. Then they're going to say, we don't need humans anymore. Everything's done by robots and computers. And the computers say this certain group of people are worthless, and they've been made worthless and domesticated by the technocracy, by the program to keep people not outside playing or playing sports, be inside watching TV. The technocracy admits it's a plan to insert you into a matrix. This is the mop-up crew to get rid of humanity, run by globalists that think they're a new species and are going to merge with machines as aliens and get rid of us. And the news is going to say, I say aliens are doing this. No. Genetic engineering, human-animal hybrids, human-machine hybrids are alien to the planet. The globalists believe they're going to create a new species and exterminate us because they're satanic. They're powered by an off-world force that is on this planet now, programming us to kill each other. That's what it is. The Bible's right. Everything we get technologically is meant to enslave us now. Not the technology's bad. Everything they're deploying is evil. Everything they're putting out is dehumanizing. Every metric shows it. The cancer rates, the brain waves are lowering. We are dying in an unnatural environment we've been put into. Just like you're on a Mars mission. They said the Terrans, when they get to Mars, won't be able to walk for a few weeks till they start trying to exercise because there's not enough gravity on the spaceship. The cell phones are eating your brain. They are giving you cancer. We're going to go to break, come back to Roger Stone, get into the other big subjects. But Do you understand that I know all this because the globalists wrote about it in books and publications 30, 40, 50 years ago, and I made films about it, and now it's all over the news they're saying this. So Roger Stone's going to join us on the big breaking news on the other side of the break. Exclusive, prominent lawyers sought donor cash for Trump accusers. And I know a lot of you go, yeah, Alex, we already heard Roger 6 months ago, we heard you months ago, and we heard Bill O'Reilly on Tuesday. Yeah, we know this. No, we forced mainstream media to report, and now the dam's going to break. Now the dam's going to break. Of the women that taped being offered money, and then the women are going to come forward and say, he was a total gentleman. He was totally nice to me all the years I worked for him and the times I saw him. He did tell me I was gorgeous. He bought me Christmas presents. He found out that my mother broke her hip and they had some big bills, and he gave me a $20,000 bonus. My God, this guy's an angel. But see, it's just incredible. So we're going to come back on the other side of the Roger Stone. Here's the deal. If you want me to fight the globalists, and I'm not putting pressure on you, I'm saying, you want us to take the globalist on, I will hire more correspondents, more reporters, just like I've been doing. Roger Stone, all this new crew we're getting, all the new shows. We'll go 20, 24 hours a day. We will expand the face of the globalists. We will never stop. But we need you to spread the articles, the videos, because they admit they're censoring us and trying to block. We need you to buy the products. We need you to say, hey, I'm not going to fight the crowds. I'm not going to deal with all the traffic. I'm not going to get, black circles around my eyes, dealing with all this. No, I'm not going to even have to wrap stuff. Because you can even, pay for it online at InfoWarsStore.com and tell us where you want it to go, and even put in a comment on the receipt, to who it's going to. Hey, this is from Uncle Al, or this is from your mom, or whatever. Or if you want to get it to your house and give it locally, that's fine too. But if people will just go get a T-shirt or go get a Mark Dice book exposing how the whole fake news works. It's a really good new book he's got. I think somebody took it out of here. You can tell when a book's going to be hot. Everybody's asking for copies around the office. I'm like, sure, here's your Christmas present. By the way, I'm signing all the first 500, but I want to sell tens of thousands of these, so that's going to go quick. The true story of fake news, InfoWarsStore.com. Get them today. But all I'm asking is, please just commit and realize our supplements are the very best. They're incredible. We've got new ones out. We've got new probiotics out. We've got so many great new products available. InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. Now, Cellforce is a similar formula to DNA Force. That's from another major national distributor, and I'm able to get it for less money. That's what it is. I still came up with DNA Force with the scientists and researchers. It still has some other properties. Cellforce doesn't. It's apples and oranges, but it's in the same quadrant. A lot of the same studies. It is still a very, very expensive. A lot of money goes in each bottle. So, other medical systems and things would sell things similar to this for $200, $300. It's normally 70-something bucks. It's even less than that right now. 50% off, InfoWarsStore.com. Cellforce. And it helps fund the operation. But then we have stuff like colloidal silver that's the highest quality, 67% off for like $9.95. Silver Bullet. Do your Christmas shopping at InfoWarsStore.com, and it's a win-win-win. It helps fund the operation. Please continue to support us. I really want to thank you all for making this possible. I'm Alex Jones, your host. InfoWars.com and NewsWars.com are amongst some of the most hated news sites by the globalists in the world because they know we'll force stories out that they are desperate to try to keep suppressed. And as I always say, you get tomorrow's news today, you get next week's news today, you get next year's news today, next decade, next century, next millennium, next eon, next eternity, right here at InfoWars. And Roger Stone joins us for just one segment. He's a busy bee. I'm going to come back and go to Brandon, John, Mark, Jim, Lewis, Tristan, and others on the other side of this segment. Roger Stone talked about it months ago. He said there are recordings, women are recording, people offering them money, but smartly folks are holding back with those till they do their main push. Well, now we've got it in the Hill after O'Reilly alluded to it, forcing it out. Exclusive, prominent lawyers sought donor cash for 2 Trump accusers. Roger Stone, former head of the Trump 2016 campaign. Thank you for joining us.
Alex, I really feel like the forces of freedom are on the move, and we've got the globalists come on the run.
Yes.
Well, the allegations against Donald Trump, which I have declared to be phony from the very beginning, are really starting to crumble. Extraordinary breaking news by John Solomon. You remember him. He's the guy who, with Sarah Carter, broke the story about the FISA court declaring that 30,000 Americans had been spied on, an act of political espionage by the Obama administration. Now breaks the news that Lisa Bloom, the California attorney who is the daughter of Gloria Allred, was involved in raising money to pay women to raise these allegations against Trump. Also trying to shake down media organizations for a commission trying to sell their fake news stories. And in one case, offered one woman as much as $750,000 to come forward and bear false witness against the president. I watched that press conference. I rolled it back and watched it 3 times when they brought out the so-called victims. These women are, quote, coached. They are forced. The whole thing stinks to high heaven.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And they say, oh, he asked for my phone number. And they're like, oh, my God, that's Megyn Kelly just acts shocked. And meanwhile, let's be honest, you know Trump well. You've known him 44 years. This is not Donald Trump's type. I mean, I'm sorry. The woman looks like a praying mantis.
Yeah, none of these women were his type. When he was single, he dated supermodels and virtually only supermodels.
What about your wife? I tell you, she's a Latina supermodel. I've met her. Good Lord.
Well, I have high standards myself. But I mean, look at Melania Trump. Cultured, refined, gracious, beautiful, kind. Just a wonderful, wonderful person. Provides great balance, I think, for the president's life.
Incredible poise, incredible presence.
Well, she speaks 4 languages. She's a highly cultured person, but she's very decent. She's very approachable, very likable. That's the Trump type.
What's crazy about her is she has all that incredible luster and power, but there's almost something provincial and farmer-like about her, something very traditional.
She's just a very good person. She's a very kind-hearted person, and she doesn't love politics. She told me that. She doesn't love the limelight, but she understands what he has to do for the country. And I really believe she was a definitive factor in him deciding to give up the greatest lifestyle in the world to go to the service of his country.
And notice she's unscripted up there doing the Lord's Prayer. It's awesome.
Well, look, he didn't need to run for president to be somebody. This wasn't about him. It was about the country. He's giving up a lot to take this beat.
And you've said that Trump is very fatalistic, and not in a bad way. He's just committed. He's doing it. That's the end of it, and whatever happens, happens.
Well, I always point to that interview he gave with Oprah Winfrey 15, 20 years ago when she said, Donald, what about running for public office? Would you ever run for president? He said, no, I don't think so, unless things get so bad that I have no choice. That's where we are today. You've taken the beatings. I've taken the beatings. It's unsafe to go out in public and say you're a Trump supporter, even though I think we have a silent majority. It's so politically incorrect to stand up for our president. And people are so, mau-mowed by the mainstream media and the abuse you take. But he's unbowed and he's unbroken. He is unbought and unbossed.
So what happens next? Because the word is from you and many others is there's a bunch of tapes, a bunch of women who didn't go with the payoffs, who are ready to release them. You think it's smart to hold off until they launch their main barrage?
I think you have to hold some of the ammunition back. I am chasing a very active story that one of the women who's an accuser who was on The Apprentice and claims Trump sexually assaulted her, lied repeatedly in her applications to even get on the show. Well, if you lie about one thing, you'll lie about everything. And we're going to have more about that in Austin next week.
You're going to be in studio next week. What about, since you mentioned that, Trey Gowdy saying, I think that the new FBI director is going to be gone by next week. Total proof of collusion. It's all fake. It's all imploding. Mainstream media just keeps acting like it's not happening. But, where is the Russia investigation? If it's not already sunk, isn't it about to go under?
Well, you would certainly think so. They've come up empty-handed. But then you watch, hear no evil, see no evil, know no evil, Rod Rosenstein's tap dance before the House Intelligence Committee yesterday, and you got to shake your head when asked directly, Do you see the bias of Robert Mueller? He says, no, I just don't say it. This guy's got all the visual acuity of Stevie Wonder.
Man, I watched the hearings, and just everybody involved hates Trump. Democrats, they make a fake dossier. They lie to get a warrant. They lie about doing that. They get caught. And here's the big one, Roger. What about the head of the Russia operation in the Justice Department being the one that recommends the millions of dollars to go to Fusion GPS when his wife was running that program? I mean, isn't that another issue, the money going from a husband to a wife?
Well, absolutely. Follow the money, as we learned in Watergate. Now, this thing is just, the fish is rotten from the head down. And then, Alex, yesterday, stunning me, as you know, I'm being sued along with Donald Trump in the District of Columbia by this phony Obama-blessed group, Project for Democracy.
Well, let's be clear. They're literally Obama's lawyers, and he admits he runs it. We'll have to hold you over to a few minutes on that, but let's start getting into this insanity. They're suing you for Russian collusion with no proof.
But it's even worse than that. Yesterday, John Brennan, Mike Hayden, and Jim Clapper, 3 former NSA officials and the CIA director under Barack Obama, 3 members of the Shaved Head Brigade, filed an amicus brief in the court claiming that, oh, yes, the Russians hacked the DNC and Stone gave the information to WikiLeaks. Bogus, completely false.
And by the way, think about how criminal that is. They say, oh, we can't tell you because it's classified, but they testify through a brief, unheard of. Even Law Journal said this has never been done before, with literal made-up pulp fiction that they inject in to show a jury in a trial suing you for being a Russian agent with no proof, and then the very agency heads that illegally spied on America just say, because of our gravitas, we say Roger Stone did this. Stay right there. I got to do a few more minutes with you. This is insane. And then they have hearings saying I'm a Russian agent. Hey, they'll probably sue me and have a file, and Brennan will say, I say so, it's true, you dirty scum. Man. All right, Roger's got to go into a very important meeting, so he'll be with us a few more minutes, and I promise I'm going right to your calls. But just think about the magnitude that I'm calmly here talking about how they have congressional hearings with no proof. They just say I'm a Russian agent. And they've got immunity in Congress to say that. They don't say it, you notice, on TV. But they say Tucker Carlson is on television. They say Rand Paul is, Roger Stone. And then you have Clapper, the same guy that famously told Congress a couple years ago there's no spying, period, in the U.S. by any agency. Clapper denied NSA surveillance before Senate panel in March testimony. Now he says he forgot about the spying. You guys had that article during the break. I pulled it up. Can we put that one up? Because he says, I forgot. Spy chief forgotten about NSA program. They also said they weren't spying on candidate Trump or President-elect Trump. Now it turns out they were. I mean, these are the people in an amicus brief in a lawsuit against the president and Roger Stone saying they're Russian agents with no proof. And they say, we can't testify, we won't come, but just use our office to know they're Russian agents. Well, you're agents of lies and fraud and sacks of garbage. I mean, this overturns, even liberal publications said nothing like this has ever happened, Roger. So I know you got to go, but just recap how insane this is.
Yeah, Alex, it's extraordinary. See, I don't get to question them. I don't get to cross-examine them. They just intercede in this lawsuit. You have the John Brennan, the Islamic convert to radical Islam, who's the former CIA director. You have James Clapper, a guy who lied under oath, said, oh, no, we have no metadata collection program. That doesn't exist. Why is it, what they indict Mike Flynn for lying over something innocuous, over something legal, yet there's no indictment of Clapper. And then you have Mike Hayden, the Bush-era NSA director. These guys interject themselves into this lawsuit against Donald Trump and myself. The idea here, I think, is to just run up our legal bills and silence us. Well, as long as I'm on InfoWars, I will never be silenced by these clowns.
And they've banned you off. They've banned you off Twitter because all you do is keep breaking huge news because you're a fact. I mean, this is insane.
Well, and, it appears to me that I just was like a test case. I think come December 18th, all conservative voices will be banned off Twitter. I think I was just earlier than everyone else. Their new rules are going to be to gag anybody who stands up for freedom or stands up for Donald Trump or stands up against the
And then Keith Olbermann, though, can call for our deaths, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been able to understand how he types while wearing a straitjacket.
I was about to say, last thing.
He is a fruitcake.
You notice all over the news, the Democrats, CNN said it's bullying Don Lemon to call him stupid. He's a public figure that calls Trump a racist, all these names, and then a grown man can't handle another grown man calling him stupid. And they say they're going to ban the president off Twitter.
Yeah, if the shoe fits, you know? I mean, Don Lemon is not an intellectual giant, to say the least. I've heard a great story about him going into a restaurant and trying to order sorbet. He said, you mean sorbet? He says, no, sorbet. So, I mean, look, this guy is no genius. But if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. I mean, he bashes the president, says that he's mentally incompetent, that he's losing touch with reality. Oh, that's perfectly all right. And when the president comes back and correctly says he's dumb as a brick, oh, he's bullying the media. What a bunch of nonsense. All
right, Roger, thank you. Getting your meeting. But I tell you, I agree the forces of good are on the march, but the hubris, the arrogance, the insanity of the Democrats, the globalists, the mainstream media is still a dangerous combination. And we're all sitting on the edge of something big here. Thank you, Roger.
Well, I'm heading to Austin. I look forward to being with you Monday and Tuesday next week in studio.
Great. Thank you, Roger.
Many thanks, Alex.
Okay, we're going to go to your phone calls right now. Do you understand? I know you understand, but we don't get any Russian money. We don't have anything to do with the Russians other than Daria came here, anti-communist from Russia and was in Army Special Operations. I'll leave it at that, a super patriot. We have an evil Russian working here, though, I can tell you, and she does a great job. But they never have evidence. They never show anything. All they do is just say I'm a Russian agent and I need to be shut down. They go, yes, sir, we shut him down at lunch. We saw they were #1 at lunch. We shut them. Good, you do that faster. I mean, do you understand? They're banning thousands of prominent libertarians, Christians, conservatives now, and then big liberals that are more libertarian, but that are powerful. They're banning them now. And they're trying to kick PewDiePie off because he's got 20 billion views. It's up 2 billion views in the last few months. 20 billion views. Nothing's got 20 billion views. I should be PewDiePie obsessed. We all should be. But they demonetized him. All of it. They're like, well, we want you to come work for us at Google. We want you to fly and meet with us at Google. This has all come out, by the way. They called him a year ago, and they said, we want you to come here and meet with us. And he said, no, I want to just keep doing it when I do on my channels. That was back when he had 15 billion views. And then all hell broke loose. Non-political comedy out of Europe, 20 billion views. Everything he does, hundreds of millions of views. The Super Bowl has 80 million. Every day he has hundreds of millions. They can't stand that. You think Hollywood and the mainstream media and all these people are going to just let DrudgeReport.com have 1 billion visitors every month or whatever it is, some ridiculous number like that. You think they're going to let us have hundreds of millions? You think they're going to let PewDiePie have 20 billion views on YouTube? No. And you're like, okay, well, let's just create our own platform. Then they use regulations and stuff to shut that down. They've got groups lobbying to shut down Gab. They've kicked it off its servers 5 or 6 times. In fact, the guy that owns that lives here in Austin. We got to get him on again, studio. I mean, Amazon.com owns the Washington Post, a bunch of other stuff. Jeff Bezos does. And they're actively trying to get us shut down. I mean, this jerk has $110 billion himself that we know of. And then he wants me shut up. And then I come home and his boxes are in my house. Not anymore, though. People go, well, then why are you launching Amazon pages? Because then they put off Chinese knockoffs on there of our products, undercut. So we have to be on Amazon to be able to then declare that it's our products. Or I'm going to have to sue Amazon. But you notice I don't plug get our stuff at Amazon. It's all strategic. And that's how people play games with our audience. They go, look, Jones says he's anti-Amazon, but then he's on it. Exactly. Just like Trump has to do some things. You got to be in the swamp to drain it. We had hundreds of resellers, most of it fake, and it was becoming a big problem. We were having groups test it and find things in it, and we looked, it wasn't ours. China, look, you can look it up. So I've got to be able to have a store on eBay to shut down the fake stuff on eBay. I've got to have a store on Amazon to shut down the fake stuff. That's how it works. But good Lord, ladies and gentlemen, it is insane. And I'm not whining, but we're in a war. I'm on the deck of the ship. They are shooting at us. And when you pray for us, and when you spread the articles, when you spread the videos, and when you go and buy T-shirts and spread the word, meet like-minded people, when you buy books, you buy films, it changes the world. I promise I'm going to Brandon, Mark, and Jim right when we come back, and Lewis and Tristan. It's going to happen. But I've got to plug or we won't be here. Christmas every year helps us fund, and the next year decide if we're going to be able to stay the same or grow or contract. And luckily, by the grace of God, we've been expanding for 22 years. InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com. You need to check out the new products that are there. They're amazing. We got free shipping store-wide. We've got Alpha Power, our newest product, 50% off out of the gates. The Real Red Pill, incredible, 50% off. DNA Force, 33% off. It's amazing. Survival Shield, 50% off. Knockout, 50% off. Prostagar, 50% off. Vitamin Mineral Fusion, 50% off. InfoWars Life Select Storable Foods, and that's the name of our foods. It's Select, but it's the full spectrum of my Patreon. 50% off, plus much, much more at InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. And Brain Force is amazing. It's 50% off. It's all there. InfoWarsStore.com. But we had to end some of these specials because the products are selling out. The toothpaste, by the way, is close to selling out. People are ordering incredible supplies. Fluoride-free, and it's got iodine, high quality, and colloidal silver in it. It's amazing. Great stocking stuffer, great gift. InfoWarsLife.com and help get your family off of fluoride. We'll be right back. Stay with us. By the way, I've got to apologize to Max Kaiser. My crew's so great, but I kind of produce my own show. They set up the guests to do a lot of work, but and run all the cameras and do great research. But I just kept going with Roger Stone, and Max Kaiser was supposed to be on, and I just didn't even notice. And then, and I promised to go to your call, so we're going to go to him now instead of getting Max Kaiser on. But I apologize to Max Kaiser. That was not a on-purpose thing. Been wanting to get him on about the rise of cryptocurrency that he was absolutely right about. So we have on, just whoever keeps being right. Just like that's what we're into. You know, we're into being right. We're into telling you the truth. We don't think it's cool to lie to people or sneak around or, you know, trip people like a lot of little Satanists do. We like to actually build civilization. And we don't like to kill innocent people. But I'll be honest with you, we do want to hurt bad people. Jim, Mark, Brandon, Boheem, and many others. Who's been holding the longest here? Let's go ahead and talk to... Who's up first here? Who's up first? Okay, Mark in Santa Cruz. Mark, you're on the air. Welcome.
Yeah, your reputation is amazing. We won't let you down here on KOMY. I'm standing here on Pacific Avenue here in Santa Cruz, and at 9:30 I'm buying cookies for those that show up. We're going to turn off for the Alex Jones show here.
That sounds exciting, sir. Talk right on your telephone. I'm making most of it out, but go ahead.
Okay. And also, I was glad to hear John Kelly kicked Omarosa's wedding party out. But why did they have a ban on InfoWars in the first place? I'm glad it was lifted, but can you really embellish that a lot? Tell us more. We're waiting to hear why a general that's protecting our president was not allowing the president to get the most accurate information, good or bad, that there is InfoWars. Now, why is that?
Well, let me answer your question, Mark, and I appreciate your call. Here's how this stuff works. The media hates us the most and wants to make us look like we're discredited. So it was an appeal to authority. Kelly banned everybody just handing him wads of stuff constantly because Trump, you know, is like ADHD in a good way, like most successful people are. He's all over the place. You know, he loves info. And so they just said, we got to contain the leaks. We got to stop getting everything. So the media kind of spun it. Oh, InfoWars is banned and Drudge is banned. But really, everything was being banned for a while. And I'm not saying Kelly's a saint, but the word is he is more of a patriot than we were told. And so the word is now Trump is getting our information now that they've exactly found out who the leakers are. And so that was Kelly's plan, completely contain everything. And then you'll find out who the leakers are. So that's the best intel I've got. But that Trump is getting our information, I can tell you that.
Well, that is very good. And also, it was interesting yesterday on InfoWars, they had this guy that basically intimated that they came in from other states to vote against Roy Moore. and you can see the girl standing right next to him when he said, "Yeah, we all voted and we all got Roy Moore." So I forget exactly what he said, but it's so obvious.
No, he says we came in from other cities to vote and to canvass, and that the Democrats are on video everywhere saying they engaged in election fraud. And again, he was going to lose by 10 to 15 points, we were told, 20 points, some media said, and then he lost by half a point. That right there is how they steal it. Yeah, there's the article, Alabama vote fraud. Doug Jones supporter says we came from different parts of the country. And it's just all a big sick joke. Hey, we came into Alabama and we all voted the names of dead people, you dumb Alabamans. And, you know, now you're going to get Doug Jones. We're going to turn your state blue one way or the other. Aha.
Oh, there's so many Christians in Alabama. I guarantee you Judge Roy Moore won. They're lying.
Well, of course he did. But you know, I mean, there's the whole point of don't die on that hill. Now we got to worry. They're going to use this tactic in every state of mass fraud coming in. And we got to infiltrate the Democrat groups, the canvas groups, record them. I mean, people have to say, I'm going to dress like a communist, or I'm going to hire somebody that does. And people that got money, hire PIs, whatever you got to do, man. It's time to fight. This is the battle of the Republic. You got to then go into these things. You got to go into the commie meetings, go into the Soros meetings, and hear them brag about how they're going to go stuff the ballot box. And, you know, then you got to go with them on the bus to vote 10 times. And you know, I think committing a crime, to expose a crime, is like a sting. I'm saying go in, vote, show it happened. I'm not saying commit a crime, but I think, you know, go all the way, show how you're able to do it in their midst. It's going to take normal people. And let me tell you, you invade one of these communist meetings, they are the dumbest, most evil, slobbering, stupid, gibbering idiots there are. I mean, but we're sitting here. That's why they're in power. Mark, I appreciate your call. We're sitting here letting trash rule over us. I'm not. I'm not. So, and it's not because I'm Mr. Perfect, man, but I'm not a devil worshiper. I'm not a pedophile, and I'm not in league with these people. And they want to run my life. They want to dominate me. Listen, they're going to get a fight. So the fight just begun. That's why I got exhausted when Trump won. And the media's like, oh, look, he's bad. Trump won. He thought he'd make more money under Hillary, blah, blah, blah. No, I realized that Providence was happening, and I could just see what was going to happen next, that I was going to be viciously attacked 10 times, 10. And people think, oh, good, we're intimidating. Let's do more. No, I expect it. I'll take it. I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. I'm not a masochist. Brandon in Alabama, thanks for holding. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Alex, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Thanks for calling.
Appreciate all you do. Thank you for accepting the call. I'm out here in Arizona, not Alabama.
Sorry.
But no.
I got Alabama on the mind.
Yeah, exactly. So I just have a few bullet points. I was wondering if I can get your thoughts or opinions on. Maybe you have some inside baseball through your sources that you can talk about, but it consisted of the CIA headquarters getting raided by the Marines recently, mixed with 4,000 plus sealed indictments in all 94 districts, which could be for, Petigate-related mass arrests. It could be nothing more than gang prosecutions consisting of... Now,
here's the question. As I look at those reports, did the Marines really raid, or that's just rumors?
That's why I'm bringing it up to you. I didn't know if you had any more definitive...
No, I mean, look, the globalists run a lot of fake news sites that act like they're patriots on purpose. And notice the media never really covers that fake news. They just put out fake news to confuse people, so when they see a real bombshell story, they don't know what they're seeing.
Right, exactly. Everything from, like, Hillary with a orthopedic boot, maybe actually wearing ankle braces or bracelet.
Yeah, but then there are photos of McCain with the boot on different feet. I mean, yes, look, I don't know, man. Look, the whole point is the Russiagate thing is blown wide open. Globalism is blown wide open. Obama being behind ISIS is blown wide open. There's just so many big things we could prove. And the internet always runs wild with stuff you can't prove. And then, like I said, they have fake news stories. Jones says gay men want to have sex with your tailpipe, with your car. I didn't say gay men. I said there's a huge fetish movement of having sex with cars and appliances. It's all over television. And I was simply saying, am I going to have to, you get a marriage license? I have to accept this, or maybe pay for a sex change if a guy wants to have a radiator attached to him or something. I mean, I was simply making that point. They just put out the fake news that Jones says gay people want to rape your car. Didn't say it.
Now, you do at least agree, though, that Trump is peeling the onion on pedophile rings, kind of starting at the ground level, and it seems like it's just going up the chain, right? You do agree on that?
Trump is trying to get the swamp to get out of the way of America's recovery and using swamp people to execute it because they know how the operation works. But I think overall Trump is doing a way better job than I thought he could do. It's quite frankly unbelievable.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you taking the time, Alex. You're amazing. I really do. So
I appreciate you, brother. I'm not amazing, but I do the best job I can. I just need your prayers. I just need your prayers because let me tell you, you get to this level, the devil's real, and it's like Agent Smith. Normal people, like, suddenly just go, they're like Agent Smith, and they just do horrible things to you. I mean, it's crazy. You'll be going along, and they, like, get activated when they see you or in your own life, and they just do horrible things. And I'm not whining about it. I just want to win, and I know Providence is real. I want to defeat these people. I want to stand up for the children. God bless you. I appreciate you, Brandon. And so I do need your hopes and prayers, and I mean, that's the #1 thing, folks. So thank you all for your support. And please support our local radio stations. You know, they go through a lot getting ratings and support, but also the negative. So please let your local stations know you appreciate it and become a sponsor, support the sponsors, and let them know why you're supporting the sponsors. Or if people of means just hold on to money, you're going to lose it all. If you donate to our local stations, I think everybody should tithe to the local stations that carry our broadcast, $10, $100 a month, whatever you can afford, $1,000. A lot of stations take us from nighttime or just on the weekend to weekday prime time because they get good ratings with us, sometimes top ratings, on smaller stations against big stations many times. But they also then get support. And so if people will just put on their calendar to tithe to the local radio station you're listening to, don't count on somebody else to do it. We're reaching a lot of people. Or here's another way to tithe. On the side of your barn, put up the local radio station and the show. Or call the station and say, I want to help pay for a billboard. If you've got the graphics art people. I mean, big billboards, even big cities, are like $5,000 a month. Small towns, like $500 a month. I mean, but every heart and mind we win is key. We're in a war, folks. This is it. 21st century warfare. You want to fight for the Republic and the whole future of humanity? This is it. Your calls are 70 seconds away. InfoWars.